Hey, we're going to try something new today. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little guide on how to kind of spice up some of your car photography. I've done it on my page here and there. One of them I learned from like a TikTok. I don't remember who did it, so I can't give them credit for it. This must have been like 7 or 8 months ago. Sorry. But I'll go ahead and flash up some examples. This one, this one, and then kind of combining both of them to get this effect here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and hop on into it. So open up your image in Photoshoppy here. Let me grab this one. All right. And then right from the jump, what you're actually going to want to go ahead and do is kind of clean up anything in here that's going to be like a distraction from the main subject. So the main subject obviously being this S2000 here. What I'll actually go ahead and do is remove this pole in the background. I'll probably end up getting rid of this ugly white streak too. I'm not sure what that is. But let me go ahead and clean this up. Now that that's out of the way, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is select your subject so we can break it out of the image. So I'll go ahead and do a quick select here. And then if you're on PC, just do a little Control J and it'll create a new layer with the mask subject. And then what I like to do on top of that is go in and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then what I like to do is I like to create 2 additional layers. One of them, the main one at the very bottom, I'll actually keep by itself and I'll make not visible. So I kind of have that as like a base. So if I do screw something up, if I have to start all over back from scratch, I have that one. I can delete everything, go back to that, and then I don't have to do like the reselection tool thing. And then actually, I'm a little ADHD. I'd like to do a double backup. So I have those 2 down there at the bottom. And then for this one, the first effect that I'll go ahead and show you is that stacking effect where it's just like stacks. I'm just going to show you. You'll see what I mean. So here we'll go ahead and duplicate the layer. So again, this one is our base layer, and this one is just the one we create on top of that. And then this one is like the actual, it carries the background and everything over. So for this one, what you want to go ahead and do is this middle point, you want to move this. This is going to be your anchor point for the image. If you want to have it to where, so if the car is like this and you want the back to come up, you want your anchor point to be more towards the front wheels, and then vice versa. So if you want the front to come up, you want the anchor point to be further down and to the right. So I'll show you what I mean here. So if we take the anchor point and put it over here on this front wheel and then we move it, you see how it's moving from the rear end upward. And then if we reverse that, take the anchor point, put it in the back and move it, it's moving from the back. So for this one here, what we'll go ahead and do is we'll take this anchor point, we'll put it right here on this light, and we'll go ahead and increase this tilt by, let's do by 2 degrees. And then we'll go ahead and leave that. And then you duplicate the layer. You take that anchor point again, put it on that white light. Do another 2 degrees. I'll go ahead and fast forward this part and go. There you go. That's what you end up with. You get that clean little weird stacking blending effect. We'll go ahead and clear all of these out. Back to our base images. So we'll go ahead and duplicate this one, and then this will be the one that we work from. So that's the stacking. I'll go ahead and show you the blur now. So this one I like a little bit more, and that having these copies down here at the bottom is actually pretty vital for this effect if you're going to do certain things like I would do it. So go ahead and make your duplicate so you have this clean one to work with. You're going to come up here to filter. You're going to go to blur gallery, and you're going to go to path blur. Then from here, you're going to go ahead and choose the direction that you want the blur to go. Right now, it's not really going to look like it's doing what you want it to do. Over here, where it says centered blur, you're going to want to uncheck this. And now you change it from being a centered blur to a directional blur. See now, as I move the mouse, it's changing the direction. So for this one here, we'll just have it just go straight up. And then you want to change the speed to kind of change how far up it goes. And you can go ahead and kind of play with the settings here to see the type of effect that you would like to do. Probably going to keep it like that. Looks good to me. And once you're happy with it, go ahead and hit OK. And there you go, now it's blurred. If you actually come up here to filter again, you just click path blur again, it'll actually just reapply it and it'll double the effect. Yeah, like that. And I like doing this. It makes it a lot more creamy, I guess would be a good word for it. And then something you could do on top of this is you can actually go ahead and re-enable one of your base layers. Go ahead and duplicate it and take it and put it on top. And then what you can do is areas, like if you look at the blur, you can see obviously this one has more color in it from the wheel. This one has some gold in it from the license plate. There's some gold up here from the wheel up here as well. So go ahead and do that where you enable that top layer. And if you actually go ahead and just take this eraser tool, and if you follow the lines of where the color is up here on top, so if I do it like from right here, and I can just erase this part, and then right here, and then erase it in the middle. And you can kind of see the car itself is fine. Yeah, see, I don't like this already. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna take another clean copy, put it on top. I'm actually going to go ahead and just go in and fix this. Okay, so you can kind of see the effect. The blur itself is going, kind of creates like a 3D effect. The blur itself is going over this rear quarter panel, but it's going over, but you can still see the background. So it's not just the entire top of the car is blurry, it's the wheel is blurring up and then everything else is kind of following after the fact. And then what I would actually go ahead and do on top of all of this is for the top layer is I would add a little bit more, or take a little bit of opacity away from it. So we go ahead and just take this down here. I think that is probably good. So at like 50%, something like that. There we go. Yeah. Maybe even like 60%. So instead of it being solid, where it's just a clean break in the line here, so you see the blur, then you see the car line, it doesn't look good, it doesn't mesh well, it kind of looks like ass. Add a little bit of transparency to this top layer, and it gives you a much better, much more appealing effect, or at least I think so. I'd probably leave it right there. We'll leave it at like 80%, and then that's what you get. And then of course what you can do is you can just go ahead and combine both of the effects that I talked about. All right, now that that's done, this is going to be the most recent layer that we did, so we'll go ahead and create a duplicate of that, and then an additional duplicate of that. We'll hide the bottom one just so we kind of have that as a backup, and then on the top one, go back and do what we did before and add that path blur. Again, you can double up on it. take that bottom one that we had done before as the backup, drag it on top, make another duplicate of it being on top, hide one just in case, and then we'll go ahead and start erasing from the top one. And then there you go. That is your final image. Go ahead and save this, and I'll just use this as a thumbnail. So yeah, there you go. That's how you do 2 of the main effects that I kind of do for a lot of my Instagram posts. If there's any other effects or anything that you're curious about that either I've done or that other people have done that you would like to kind of know how to do, just let me know. I don't believe in gatekeeping or any of that stuff when it comes to photography or when it comes to editing. I'm pretty much an open book for a lot of this stuff, so just ask me and I'd be happy to let you know. Don't want to sell you presets, don't want to sell you prints, don't want to sell you really anything, just want to kind of get the knowledge out there. But yeah, if you have any other questions, anything you want to know, let me know. I'll see what I can do. All right, go shoot.